That's just the way it is. You can like that or not like that. I actually like it. Maybe I'm a little crazy, but I like it. I truly believe that we as a country have been asleep for a long, long time. And we've let it get to this point where this thing called government has grown to a point where we're flat broke now. I mean to tell you, we're beyond flat broke. It's grown to a point where we've got our government doing things our founders never even envisioned our federal government would do. I'm called the Tea Party guy. I believe the Tea Party movement 3 or 4 years ago was really a big chunk of the country got up off their couches and said, time out. What in God's name is going on in this country? We are now, as of last week, congratulations America, we're $15 trillion in debt. 15 trillion. And I know that nobody knows what 15 trillion means. How can you comprehend a number that big? Well, if you divided it by every family in America, every family in America right now owes about 200 grand, just on our debt. That will go up by the time we're done with this town hall. That great super committee that was formed in August, from the time the super committee was formed till the time it put up its white flag last week, we added 700 billion more to our debt in just the amount of time the super committee was meeting. We are on the precipice, folks, of either falling off a cliff or saving ourselves. Now, we argue about what needs to be done to not fall. That's the argument, Republicans and Democrats. I don't know of anybody in Washington, even me, Joe Walsh, that wants us to fall. No Republican or Democrat wants us to fall, but we're hanging. And I'll tell you something, this is an important time. And if you get turned off by the anger, if you get turned off by the arguing, tough. Tough. If you don't like the way Republicans and Democrats sound, so what? We are arguing about important things. We're debating important things. We're doing what we should have done 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. We never should have let it get to this point. Not in this country, not to that generation. We never should have let it get to this point. Both parties did it. Both parties did it. It's an important time and an important fight. And it's not going to, and the fight has just begun. President Obama only got elected 3 years ago. This thing has just started. Your country is going to shake like this for the next 4 to 10 years to try to figure this out. It's important to have this fight. I'm glad we're having it. I'd be afraid for this country if we just turned the other way and ignored it. And I'd be very disappointed in everyone in this room if you only listened to the people that agreed with you during this fight. If you're a good liberal Democrat and all you do is listen to Lawrence O'Donnell and MSNBC, shame on you. If you are a dyed-in-the-wool, hard-right conservative and you pray to Sean Hannity every night, shame on you. Shame on you. This is, hold on, I know you're ready to fire. This is much too important. So please, don't be turned off by what's going on right now. I'm right in the middle of it, and I go to bed every night in D.C. and I'm exhausted, but I know it's important. I know it's important. We have a government right now that we can't afford. Your country's in debt further than it's ever been in debt. We have a private economy that's dying. America's not working. We're still losing our homes. Banks aren't lending. Businesses are leaving the state. Small and community banks are leaving. We are in trouble. we best as a country figure out how we got here and try to fix it. But I'm going to close with this point, and then we'll open it up. Nobody wants us to be here. If I had President Obama in this room right now, and by the way, he and I don't agree on a darn thing, but if I had President Obama and I in the room right now, I would say to him, I know, Mr. President, you want what's best for this country. Folks, when I'm in D.C., sometimes Democrats say things in the House and I want to pull my hair out, but never once do I question that they don't want what's best for this country. And I know some of our Democratic friends, sometimes you listen to some of these Republicans and you say, oh my God, what country do they live in? But they want what's best too. We have a dramatically different vision of how to fix it. I'll close with this thought. I've got 3 kids. Everybody in the world knows everything about Joe Walsh. I've got 3 kids. I don't have a grandchild yet. I can honestly tell you, this next election in 2012 is by far the most important election, I think, just my opinion, the most important election in the history of this country. Here's the beauty. It's also the easiest election I think we've ever had. Because imagine if the differences weren't great. You should not have any confusion as to what side you're on in this revolution. You shouldn't. If you like where President Obama wants to take us, you got to get rid of people like me. If you are afraid for where he's taking this country, even if you got this much faith in Republicans, you got to give them a shot. And I'll tell you, if Republicans and or Democrats can't fix this thing, who knows what's coming? Who knows what's coming? This country has to be saved. Let's stop there. I'm going to start here in the back. Hey, one before you get up, sir. That's a great cane. Hold that thing up. Look at that.
Take a real good look, Congress.
Wait. Sit down for a minute. I'm going to pull you back up in a second. I'm going to give you my one ground rule, and maybe it's a good thing I do that now, before he hits me with that cane. Nobody does this more than I do. Nobody opens himself up to his constituents more than I do. This does not work, and this will not work if we don't respect each other. I mean respect every viewpoint in this room. I don't care if somebody over here says something crazy, respect it. Respect me and I'll respect you. If we don't respect each other, this is democracy at work right here. These things don't work. So what were you thinking of doing with that cane? Fire away, sir.
First off, thank you and Congress for passing the Hire Veterans Act.
Yes.
For not doing anything. It can't happen. Now, it also happened, Senator McCain, who is a veteran, put a letter together that was signed miraculously by both parties, the Senate and House Veterans Committee, to cut veterans' throats. Active duty, retired.
Do you know which one you're referring to?
It was a letter that went to the super committee that McCain authored.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's made the rounds.
And I did not sign it.
No.
Yeah.
The signatures he was after is what he got.
Got it.
Bipartisan.
Okay.
Now, first part of my question to you. If that comes out in a bill form, which way do you vote? For the cuts or against the cuts?
You're talking about
Veterans.
all the defense cuts?
No,
The veterans.
Specifically after
No.
active duty.
Yeah, no. I would vote against any cuts to active duty or veterans.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a request in your terminology.
Okay.
You're saying America is asleep.
No, I'm saying it was asleep. I think it's woken up.
No, America is complacent. And the reason America is complacent is sitting right here in this room. The sacrifices of every veteran has kept America from seeing the hard, cold facts that exist everywhere else. So to a certain degree, it is our fault. We have protected this country. Okay, now, if necessary, veterans will protect this country again.
Right.
Because the oath that we took didn't go away when we took the uniform off. To protect from foreign and domestic. So I do not accept 1 year of a status quo, because the government never accepted a status quo from the United States Armed Forces. So we're not turning it out. You got 1 year. I don't care which party. If you could agree on higher veterans, that's a start. Next one, don't take the whole tree. We never went after the whole thing, we took it in pieces. This is a war, and I will tell you, if the super committee would have come out with a cut on veterans, there was going to be a 1 million man march of veterans on DC. And that is the last thing this country needs.
I agree.
Because that would be the bloodiest thing this country's ever
I agree,
seen.
thank you. Well, brief point. You know where I am philosophically. I believe in a very limited, I'll say it one more time, limited government. There are a few things I want my government doing, not a million things. How our country, through our government, treats those who wore the uniform and are wearing the uniform is probably the greatest indicator of how decent or indecent that country is. So we should and can never, ever cut or shirk our responsibility to care for those and give benefits to those who have served. And I think that is probably one area where there's, even if it's only for political motivation, there's bipartisan consensus.
You might also want to remind everybody that this is the only country in the world that has a Veterans Administration doing things for vets. Britain doesn't have it, Australia doesn't have it. This is the only country. So when I tell the people that I work with, first thing you say to the VA is thank you.
Right.
Then you ask for help.
Right.
But we need reality.
Now, again, veterans aside, special class, we're 15 trillion in debt. We're falling off a cliff. Defense, everything else is on that table to look to see where we can cut and save money. Of that, hopefully we all agree. Questions? Let's go right here.
Okay. I'm not one of your constituents. I'm with my son-in-law. I'm from downstate Illinois.
Hey, where?
I am a person who believes that the government has not failed the American people, but the American people themselves have failed themselves. Right. We have asked our veterans to go to war and make sacrifices for us. They die for us. We, in turn, sit and say, I need a program. I need more Social Security money. I'm not willing to sacrifice to keep the government at a low-end cost. Programs are a very evil thing. Programs are designed, quote unquote, from a liberal standpoint, is to help the people. If you create a program, you take the people's money. You spend the money, right? The people come out short. So you have to tax the people to come up with the money. Increasing taxes on people to pay for a program makes people poor. So those people jump up and down, scream and yell, and say the government's not taking care of it. You've got to create a new program. And this program creates higher cost for those people who are working. The poor get poorer. Redistribution of wealth goes from the program, from the worker to the program to the poor. It is the program that's making everybody poor. Why don't we stand on our own 2 feet, sacrifice the same way our soldiers sacrificed for us, and straighten this country out?
See, thank you. Where are you from downstate?
Well, I'm from Farmington, Illinois.
Okay. Here's, bless you. If somebody just sneezed over there, I thought I heard one. Was that you? You do that one more time. I'm gonna very concisely, broadly get at what you were just saying. Again, I'm just a freshman in Congress, so I just want to try to be as honest as I can. If I had the president right here and I asked the president to be honest, I would hope he'd express the following. I think what's going on in the country right now is there's a revolution to sort of fight back to get what the American dream is. And my American dream, which is what I think our founders envisioned, was all about political and economic liberty. I.e., and again, if I'm too simplistic, I apologize. I want us to get back to the following America, where I make $1 and that's my money. That's my money. I get to keep darn near all of that money. We all got to put in a little something to support government at some level, but let's just say in my America, the $1 I make, I get to keep 90 cents of it. It's my money. And then I use that money to start a business, to take care of my kids, to take care of my parents as they get older, to pay for my own health